The summer official visit season is probably the most important time of the year for any program's recruiting class, and for USC, that's no exception. We've already seen the coaching staff and the revamped front office go all in to build what could be the #1 recruiting class of 2026. Now, the focus shifts to keeping that momentum going through official visits. So today, I'm going to preview USC's upcoming official visitors and break down which recruits should be considered must-gets for the Trojans. But before we dive in, welcome to the first video on my channel. I'll be covering USC football consistently moving forward, so if you're a fan, make sure to subscribe and to follow along. First up, we have 5-star safety Jett Washington from Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. He's scheduled for a midweek visit from June 3rd to the 5th, and from what I've seen, he's the only visitor that week. That gives USC a prime opportunity to roll out the red carpet and really try to build a personal relationship. As far as importance goes, I'd call Washington a must-get for a few reasons. First, USC currently only has one other safety committed in Madden Riordan, and with both starting safeties likely gone after this season, in Kamari Ramsey and Bishop Fitzgerald, bringing in at least 2 to replace them would be ideal. Second, if USC were to get Washington committed, it would help to reestablish a strong pipeline to Bishop Gorman, one of the top talent producing schools out west. If that would occur, it would be huge, especially since USC hasn't had much traction there since the Branch brothers, and this commitment could be a help for other ones down the line. Right after that midweek visit is over, USC will get no rest, and they will host another packed weekend starting June 6th. 10 top prospects will be on campus, and this could end up being one of the most pivotal weekends of the entire cycle, both for locking in uncommitted targets and solidifying relationships with committed ones. Headlining this weekend is a duo of elite receivers from Texas, 4-stars Boobie Feaster and Jalen Lott. Both of these guys are players who USC has very high on their board, and I would say that the Trojans have a good chance of both of them. Of the two, it seems that Lott has a bigger personal connection to USC, as his sister runs track for the Trojans, but it also appears that he is a Texas lean, and it would be hard to say no to the wide receiver factory they have been over the past few years. Also visiting is 5-star quarterback Ryder Lyons, who obviously has a connection to USC through his brother Walker. Looking at how Ryder's recruitment currently stands, it seems like a battle between BYU, Oregon, and the Trojans, and I think that USC is in a very favorable spot. I also heard that USC has a very lofty NIL package set for Ryder, which will be hard to turn down. A few months ago, I would have labeled Ryder as a must-get, but with Jonas Williams already committed, and USC showing interest in other 2027 quarterbacks, I'm not so sure anymore. With that being said, snagging Ryder would not only add a top QB, but also deal a blow to Oregon, who's been pushing very hard for him. If Riley wants to play that card, I'm all for it. The weekend of June 13th brings in another strong group of visitors. This weekend looks like a key opportunity to close on several targets who already have USC high on their list, and I wouldn't be surprised to see multiple commitments come out of this batch. Some names from this group to watch are edge rusher Luc Weaver, defensive lineman Tyson Davis, linebacker Favour Akih, Texas A&M wide receiver commit Madden Williams, and tight ends Taimane Purcell and Keawe Browne. My biggest must-get here is Favour Akih. He's an Ohio native and currently an Ohio State lean, but USC needs linebackers after the decommitment of Xavier Griffin. Akih is one of the few top-tier options left on their board, and USC has shown they're aggressive at that position this cycle. Another key name, Madden Williams. Despite being committed to Texas A&M, he's from Bosco, so local ties could work in USC's favor. I would group Madden with the previously mentioned Boobie Feaster and Jalen Lott as the top targets at the receiver position. For the tight ends, I don't know if they are still planning to visit after the big commitment of Mark Bowman, and if they are, how hard USC would pursue. I do think that the tight end depth on the roster is in a great position as it currently stands, and I don't see the need to get another one. As for Davis and Waffle, USC is in a strong position for both, and landing them could effectively wrap up D-line recruiting. If I had to bet on it, I like SC's chances with Davis more than Waffle, and could certainly foresee Waffle staying out east. Next, we have a high-profile midweek slate, featuring 5-stars Brandon Arrington, Mark Bowman, and Kenai Pepe, along with blue chippers Talanoa Ili and Havon FInney. Arrington is a local 5-star, but his recruitment is highly competitive, with national powers like Texas, Oregon, and Alabama in pursuit. Though he is a talented athlete, many national media members aren't sure that he will be an immediate impact at corner or receiver, and think that his best sport may just be track. Also, I'm sure USC would love to land him, but there is no doubt that it will take a large amount of time and resources to do so. On Bowman, he just committed as I was writing the script for this video, and obviously he is a huge get. The 6'5", 225-pound monster has drawn comparisons to NFL star Brock Bowers, and though that is a huge ask for a 17-year-old, the potential is there. Another good sign that comes from this commitment is that we see the willingness for USC to finally spend big money and actually outbid Texas and Georgia. In prior years, the Trojans and Lincoln Riley would be very frugal with their resources, but for Bowman, that is certainly not the case, with a reported contract of close to $10 million. The top target here in my eyes is Talanoa Ili. He's likely USC's number one linebacker target at 6'3", 215 pounds, and already has a few crystal balls in favor for the Trojans. What really makes me believe Ili has the potential to be special is the clear enthusiasm this coaching staff has for him. Rob Ryan and Shahn traveled all the way to Hawaii to recruit him, and it's evident that the entire staff, Lincoln Riley included, views him as a top priority. Finally, the weekend of June 20th might be one of the biggest number-wise, with 13 visitors expected. Headlining the uncommitted prospects are 5-star Trent Henderson and linebacker Sincere Johnson. Henderson will be tough to pull from SEC territory, especially given USC's recent struggles recruiting those defensive linemen from the South. But these are the type of kids you should shoot your shot at. The rest of this weekend's visitors is littered with current commits, including ace recruiter Brandon Lockhart. This can be a perfect opportunity for the Trojans to build on their relationships with these guys. When it comes to official visits, both Chad Bowden at Notre Dame and Lincoln Riley have done well at finishing off strong. The strategy of building a class early to create these relationships seems to be already paying off, and having committed players visit alongside uncommitted guys adds another boost to recruiting that can't be underestimated. That wraps up the official visit preview. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot more USC football content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and fight on.